Hey, all right. Good morning. Welcome to The Point. It's the Humanist Hour at All Souls. Every Sunday at 11:30, the Humanist Hour. People say, what Humanist Hour? What is that? And I said, it's a place where everybody can come together. Atheists, agnostic, believers, seekers, questioners, pirates and skeletons and all kinds of cats and all kinds of everybody can come together. Especially, thank you. I love all the Halloween costumes our children are in today. Welcome to everybody. I'm Marlon Lavenhar. I'm the senior minister here at All Souls, but we have a great service for you today. One of the things I'm really excited about is to hear a message from our newest minister, our program minister, Nicole Kirk. Dr. Nicole Kirk is with us, and she's got a lovely message for us today. If you're here for the very first time, we hope we actually have a gift for you. If you're here for the first time and you raise your hand, I see Eric is coming down the aisle with some gifts, and he'll give it to you. Just raise your hand, keep it up, and Eric is just going to come around. Oh, and I got Steve on this side, so just put your hand up. I see some hands. There's a hand, Steve, up here. Anyway, welcome. I'm glad that you decided to come be with us on this last Sunday of October. And it is unbelievable. We got an election coming up. We got all kinds of anxiety rippling through the culture and many of our hearts. And but we're going to do our part. And whatever happens, we're going to be right here the next Sunday and every day after that, continuing to do what we do. And that's what is most important to remember. All right, with that, I'd like to invite you, whether you're online visiting us from around the world or across the country or right here in the building, join me in the words of All Souls Covenant. They're printed here. This is the promise we make to each other that binds us together here at All Souls. And it begins with the word love. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant. To dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Welcome to All Souls, where we love beyond belief. Our chalice, which we light each Sunday, it combines the symbols of community and freedom. And we have our chalice lighters today are Brooke Anderson and Jasmine Carlback. And they are members of our accessibility team. We're doing great work here at All Souls to make our church as inclusive as possible.
Thank you. May the light of our chalice remind us that our differences enrich us. In our myriad voices and varied stories, we find a deeper understanding of the human spirit. Let the warmth of this flame dissolve the fear of limitation that often binds our hearts. May we embrace the truth that there is enough love, enough hope, enough kindness for everyone.
Morning. My name is Lee Rumley. Is this mic on?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Again, my name is Lee Rumley. I'm the worship associate here at All Souls, and I'm so happy to read to you this classic story, Stone Soup, adapted by Hannah Morgan and illustrated by Sagar Ram. Once upon a time, in a village small and quaint, a stranger arrived, feeling quite faint. He was weary and hungry, tired from the road, but the villagers seemed stingy, their hearts awfully cold. They hoarded their food. They never would share, not just with strangers, even when a neighbor needed care. Undeterred, our traveler hatched up a plan to teach the village some kindness, how to walk hand in hand. He searched the forest for a stone, smooth and round, then headed back to the village without making a sound. As he gathered some twigs, flames he ignited. Surprised villagers gather around. They were quite excited. Filling his pot with water, he placed it on the fire. Dropping in the round stone made the villagers inquire. "What are you doing?" they asked. "Please do share." The stranger chuckled and replied with great flair. "It's stone soup," he said, "a magical cuisine." He smiled at the onlookers, his voice quite serene. "For this stone, you see, is actually quite unique. It turns water to soup if we just let it steep." "Stone soup," they pondered, with eyebrows raised. "How can a stone be tasty? Are you truly crazed?" But the fellow just chuckled and said with a wink, "Just watch and see, it's not what you think." The villagers whispered, exchanging unsure glances. Could it be that a stone will lead to culinary advances? Now, it may need some flavor, for that's what it lacks. Does anyone have some salt to spare? Just a few cracks? A touch of pepper would be grand, or a pinch of spice. Anything you can add to make the soup super nice. "I'm okay to give some salt," said a lady named Sue. "And I have some pepper," chimed in Mr. Lou. Tasting the broth, the traveler said with a grin, "It needs something more. Have you a vegetable to add in?" "He's a trickster, it's a ploy," someone did shout. Others were just too curious, even if they had some doubt. But the stranger insisted, "It's a magical brew. With my special stone for flavor, it'll be yummy, I'm telling you. With a few more ingredients, it'll be quite grand. A taste and a smell that will sweep across the land." A young girl skipped forward, holding a potato. "This will make it hearty and magnificato." The blacksmith reached over, adding peas with glee, while a child plucked some fresh berries from a nearby tree. Big Boy the farmer stepped up with onions and greens. Soon each villager had brought something to add to the scene. As they added the veggies, the traveler's face broke into a grin. The aromas was just heavenly. He stirred it with a gentle spin. "I've got an idea," he said with a wink. "This soup needs some meat to give it more zing." The villagers hurried, rushing home in great haste, returning with meat, for they all wanted to taste. Finally, it was time to taste the delight. With anticipation, they all sat around, ready for a bite. The first sip was so heavenly, the burst of flavors a surprise. Its note so richly seasoned, it brought tears to their eyes. Bowls brimming with soup, their hunger abated. "We did it together," said the villagers, amazed at what they had created. They shared that stone soup, a hearty delight, laughing and talking throughout the night. The traveler thanked the villagers for each doing their part, for their generosity and kindness, for giving with heart. They vowed to be kind, to lend a helping hand, to recreate a village where generosity took a stand. Through sharing and giving, their spirits had grown into a sense of community they had never known. Unity and gratitude filled the village air. The stone soup made a bond that nothing could tear. So let each person share their ingredients, so unique and diverse. Together, we can create a world in which loving kindness immerse. Because the magic of sharing starts with you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Lee. And I would invite our children, if you'd like to go to your classrooms today. We've got some fun stuff to do before the Halloween party. And if you have a child in first to third grade, we are signing up for our cherub choir, our youngest choir. It's a great way to get them involved in singing and teach them about music. So please sign them up for the cherub choir. Today, we are recognizing some new members who joined the church over the last couple of months. We started to do this. We used to do it twice a year, but so many people have been joining it, we've started to do it now every couple months. And I think we had about 12 people in the last service. And I wonder if there's anybody, I think there's a few people in this service. And it also, and I would invite you to come forward at this time. And also, if you were joined but were not able to be here for the last service, but you've joined a little while ago but are ready to come and be part of the ceremony, we invite you to come up as well. So all of you have joined over the little while, but today we formally welcome you into the life of All Souls and into the covenant of All Souls, our covenant of love and service. We also, in the earlier service, we welcomed an Everywhere member from South Africa who joins us as well. So will you, new members, honor our covenant to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another? If so, please say, I will.
Congregants, as our community grows, do you reaffirm your commitment to the covenant of love and service that binds us together? If so, please say, we do.
We do. And will you welcome the new members into our community with this promise of making each other and a practice that we strive to live together? I am not reading the right words today. I'm going to start to this place and say, well, you welcome these new members into our community and strive to dwell with them in peace, support their search for truth with love, and to help them when they are in need. If so, please say, I will.
All right, now that we're all members of All Souls and part of this covenant, let us remember that our covenant is a promise that we make to each other. It's also a practice that we strive to live into and live out every day. So when we falter or fail in living our covenant, which sometimes happens, will you take responsibility to seek forgiveness and begin again in love? If so, let us all say, I will. Beautiful, beautiful. And now, new members, one at a time, please state your name.
Crystal Strickland.
Crystal Strickland. May your eyes see beauty, may your lips speak truth, may your heart know love, and may your hands do the good works of this world all the days of your life. Welcome into the fellowship of All Souls.
Please state your name.
Travis Flatt.
Travis Flatt. Welcome to the family of All Souls. May your eyes see beauty, may your lips speak truth, may your heart know love, and may your hands do the good work of this world all the days of your life.
Please state your name.
Andrew Canals.
Andrew Canals. I welcome you into the family of All Souls. May your eyes see beauty, may your lips speak truth, may your heart know love, and may your hands do the good works of this world all the days of your life.
Please state your name.
Stacy Flatt.
Stacy Flatt. Welcome to the family of All Souls. May your eyes see beauty, may your lips speak truth, may your heart know love, and may your hands do the good work of this world all the days of your life.
Please state your name.
Glenn Baker.
Glenn Baker, welcome into the family of All Souls. May your eyes see beauty, may your lips speak truth, may your heart know love, and may your hands do the good works of this world all the days of your life.
May you dare to dream dreams. May you dare to dream dreams. May you dare to speak the truth. May you know your power to act. May love be your guide. May you walk with your head held high. May your heart praise earth and sky. May you see life's gift to you. May love be your guide, your guide. Ah, may love be your guide.
It's a great pleasure to welcome Hudson Harder, who was a new member not very long ago, and he's going to just say a few words about why he supports All Souls. As you know, we're in our stewardship drive over the next few weeks, and if you look in the order of service, you'll see already 87 households have pledged to support All Souls in 2025, so we just need about 900 more households. The good news is we have enough to support this church well into 2025. The bad news is it's still in your mind how much you're going to give. So we're going to hope that Hudson inspires you to fill out your pledge card so we can set a good budget for next year.
Well, good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? Fantastic to see you today. My name is Hudson Harder. That's right, harder, like work harder or pray harder. And I need to pray harder, ladies and gentlemen, because my Sooners are 4-4 right now. It's not looking too good. A little about myself. I am a history and economics teacher at Webster High School. I also teach English at the YWCA. And I am a magician. I'm actually not a magician, I'm sorry. But I am a stand-up comedian. What I'm trying to say is I don't have a lot of money, okay? But I can still support this church, and I'll tell you why. Like Reverend Randy, my siblings and I grew up Baptist-Costal. Our parents and community installed values I cherish to this day: to treat your neighbor as yourself, to forgive those who have trespassed against you, and to walk in love every day of your life. To their great credit, my parents fervently fostered intellectual as well as spiritual stimulation. To this day, I am still a huge lover of books. I can hoard books like I am the Dragon Schmaug, right? Oh, yeah, there you go. Oh, did I pronounce it wrong? Oh, yeah. Oh, I will have to talk after service. Reading comes with many pleasures, as well as some risks as well. I will never forget the day my grandpa gave me this dark look when he saw that I was reading a book about evolution. Oh. I know what my Halloween costume is going to be this year, ladies and gentlemen. Diving into the stories and myths of other religions, I began to have a hard time accepting that my Muslim, Jewish, and atheist peers were on a path towards hell, or that it was a sin for my LGBTQ plus friends to be who they are. The exact values instilled in me growing up began to rub against the hate and superstition I heard on the pulpit, leading to a long crisis of faith. Then, by chance, I learned about the teachings of Bishop Carlton Pearson. The first time I ever attended All Souls, I got to listen to one of his sermons just a few months before he passed away. The gospel he preached was radically different from the orthodoxy I was so used to, but somehow it was still so familiar. I realized that this is a place that I could call home. This is a place I can continue to grow as a vine, not disconnected from its roots, just jutting in a different direction. Many communities don't have the luxury of having a liberal faith community such as this one, and I am so blessed to be part of it. Because we share the plate offering each Sunday with outside organizations, the church depends on the pledges of our members to provide for all the wonderful programs, such as our choirs, our Wednesday connection classes, as well as the All Souls social justice teams. Without your giving, the work of All Souls couldn't happen. I invite you to join me in supporting All Souls in 2025. And if you're already giving, to increase your pledge this upcoming year. Please pick up your pledge letter in Emerson Hall after the service. Thank you for listening. It's been wonderful talking to y'all.
Thank you, Hudson. In moments of joy and in times of sorrow, we are reminded of the interconnectedness of all things. So let us, during those times, cherish and support one another. And let us cherish the support that we have in this community, that we experience in this community, knowing that our shared burdens become lighter and our joys brighter within circles of care and concern. Today we extend our heartfelt sympathies to member Squana Scoggins. She's our program and volunteers coordinator, and she lost her aunt Ann Gill, who passed away on Thursday. And we won't hold space for our new members, those who have joined this church. And we want to hold space for peace in the Middle East, and an end to all the violence that's happening in the world right now. May we all find the courage we need in the hour that is needed the most. And as we enter into a brief moment of silence, may we hold each other in our thoughts and intentions.
Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. There's nothing you can do that can't be done. There's nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. Nothing you can make that can't be made. No one you can save that can't be saved. But nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be you. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. Anybody feel like saying that with me? All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need.
the longtime minister of King's Chapel in Boston, an old Unitarian church going back to the 1700s. The longtime minister, he's now retired, Carl Scoville, used to tell stories every noon on a radio program. And this is one of the favorite stories that he told that I often think about, especially around this time of year. Carl was with his family in their backyard in Boston, and his daughter just finished eating a peach, a juicy peach. Little Faith was about 5 years old, and after she finished the peach, she took the pit and she turned to her father and said, "I want to plant this." Well, Carl looked at the peach pit rather doubtfully, and with the wisdom born of too many disappointments, he told her, "You can plant that, honey, if you want to, but it probably won't come up." After all, peach pits often do not produce a peach tree, and they lived in Massachusetts, where only the hardiest peach trees could possibly grow. It was a challenging situation. But Carl's daughter would not be dissuaded from her desire to plant the peach pit, as only a 5-year-old can. She said, "But I want to plant it." So the family planted the peach pit in their backyard, but like any father, he wanted to give that cautionary phrase or cautionary thought for her to remember. And he said to her, "You know, when it doesn't produce a tree, I just want you to remember what I said, that it wasn't likely to come up. There wasn't going to be a tree." So one Saturday afternoon, 20 years later, Carl picked up 427 small peaches from beneath that tree that sprung from that one peach pit, and now shaded a large portion of their backyard. And as he looked at the tree, he realized that there must be another 427 peaches on the tree still above. Now, Carl admitted that these peaches weren't the tastiest, but the church sexton made a decent jam out of them. And he reflected on his experience, saying, "So much for the wisdom born of disappointment." That afternoon, as Carl and his family picked up hundreds of peaches, as they had to every year, he relearned the sacred lesson of scarcity and abundance. Now, abundance can be a tricky concept for Unitarian Universalists, for humanists. Talking about abundance can make us feel perhaps uncomfortable. It makes us uncomfortable because abundance is frequently equated with privilege, with getting an extra helping hand while others have not, with having too much, more than enough, an extravagant amount, way too much, more than enough, over the top. Talk of abundance also sounds like another way of saying the world is okay, when we know the world is not okay. Too often we limit abundance to the idea of having too much money or material goods, which is an economic and even a socio-political definition that takes the concept of abundance and robs it of its power. Abundance is also a humanist concept. For how else do we speak of love, of hope, of grace? How do we speak of justice? How do we speak of our human connections with one another? Cultivating an abundance mindset helps us to be open to the unexpected moments of connections. Those moments when you learn something about another, or you're asked to participate in an activity that changes your life or shifts your perspective. It opens your hearts and minds to possibilities and invites us to try again in the face of failure, disappointment, anger, and fear. It makes another way out of no way. But the talk on the streets, in the news, in the air, is the talk of scarcity. They are saying that there's not enough room at the table to feed the hungry, that there's not enough room in this country for immigrants, not enough space at the voting polls for particular kinds of people, not enough profit for better wages, not enough places for people who are singled out by race, ethnicity, gender, and sexuality, let alone choice about our bodies. A scarcity mindset is about protecting one group of people and their way of living at the cost of other people. Scarcity isolates us from one another, breaks us apart, makes us fear one another. How do we move beyond scarcity? Now, for some of you, the concept of abundance and scarcity being twinned up and thinking about mindset might echo out of your memory somewhere. Maybe you purchased The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, a bestseller, Stephen Covey. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you had a copy and put it in the garage sale. But it was a bestseller published in 1989, 30 million copies worldwide. And whether you were into Covey's principles or not, the fact is, it was a popular book, and he introduced that concept of having a scarcity mindset, where we think that there's not enough. If there are resources, that it's a finite amount. It's like a pie, and you take a piece out of the pie, and that's all that's left. Kind of makes you worry. I worry when people take a slice out of the pumpkin pie. I'm just saying. Will there be enough? I feel it. And the abundance principle, that there are enough resources and that we can connect and share. And he wasn't just talking about around money or the things that we need, because I know a lot of us do feel that pinch and have been worried about, is there enough to feed my family, to feed myself, to make my dreams come true? But he was talking about just a way we approach life. And it turns out that it has deeper roots in psychology. Psychologists talk about how the mindset around scarcity and around abundance influence deeply the way we relate to one another and how we live our lives. Psychologists have said that whether we have the actual resources or not, if we're approaching life with a scarcity mindset, we think there's less. Again, whether it's a reality or not, we see everything as less or scarce, and it worries us. It changes how we feel, it changes how we behave, it changes how we relate to one another. Whereas abundance is also a way of experiencing the world. It's about possibility, it's about potential, it's about love beyond belief. It's about grace and hope and community. It's about making a difference where it matters the most. Being open to abundance helps us to be open to those unexpected moments that we did not make happen. Some of us call it grace. Others may just call it this fortunate opportunity. But you know somehow it's special. It was the thing that you just needed to make that connection, to feel better, to feel hope. We often overlook the abundance of our lives because it can be commonplace. We might not see it or hear it or feel it because it's a part of the everyday, and yet, indeed, it is precious. Scientists can help us think about this more deeply. Hope Jahren, in her marvelous memoir, Lab Girl, describes one of the many ways we miss abundance in nature. And whenever you're feeling scarcity, go spend time in nature and also come back in community. And these twin experiences can help open you up. When we enter in the woods, she says, our natural tendency is to look up at the glorious branches of the tree, to look at its leaves, to look at its bark, but we are missing what's right underneath us on the forest floor. She writes, when you go into the forest, you probably don't look down, where just beneath your single footprint or wheel print sits hundreds of seeds, each one alive and waiting for new growth, waiting for new life. Or simply take a handful of seeds from the milkweed plant for instance, to see how these tiny little blackish brown slivers produce large bushy plants that give food and shelter to butterflies. Nature reminds us of the extravagance and abundance all around us, even in the harshest conditions, even in this drought that we are in. I've always thought about autumn as the perfect time to revisit where I am feeling about my relationship to abundance and scarcity. It's also this time of the ancient Celtic harvest festival, Samhain. It's a good time for reflecting on abundance and where scarcity has crept into your life. As the leaves slowly drop from the tree branches, the grass turns golden brown, the nights turn crisp, and if you get up in the morning, you notice there are more runners and joggers in Tulsa than you ever knew existed, because it's cool enough for them to be out. As the last flowers bloom, as the animals prepare for winter, our practice for this season naturally should be gratitude. To see what we need to put down and what is left behind, what is all around us, what gives us hope. Gratitude is about awareness, not giving thanks to some god or deity or someone whose name we don't know. Gratitude is an awareness, not something that can be easily performed. I suspect because gratitude, real gratitude, means identifying both what has come into our life and made it better, but also it is also about brokenness and brokenheartedness and the losses. And yet we still find there love and beauty. Gratitude can change the way you live your life. It can change and transform your attitude, your vision, your goals, your way of living. Over the years, I've heard several friends talk about keeping gratitude journals or taking a photo each day in the month of November as a practice to develop gratitude. And I have to say, as a minister, for many years, I did not participate. I thought, well, I understand this intellectually. It's very good, very good. And then I tried it. It's hard. It's really hard. You get to the end of the day, you're exhausted. It was a bad day. And you have to think of something that you're grateful for. But as you do the practice, you begin to find out it's more than one thing. It's more than two. It's more than three. That list grows longer and longer as you practice abundance through practicing gratitude. In human communities and religious communities, abundance develops when we work together and nourish our spirits, where we grow our hearts and minds, as Reverend Marlon has said recently, where we grow our souls, if that's a word that you can embrace, and develop deeper connections with others. It's giving back to the community even while you are receiving. It's knowing that what we get is not always what we expect, but that can be a part of the bounty, the growth. The great religious leader and writer Howard Thurman tells us that abundance is always found in community. He writes in his book, Disciplines of the Spirit, we want to know as human beings, however vast and impersonal all life about us may seem, however hard may be the stretch of road on which you are journeying, we are not alone. We are not alone, but are the object of another's concern and caring. We want to know this is an awareness sufficient to hold us against ultimate fear and panic. It is precisely at this point of awareness that life becomes personal, and the individual, a person, is free to ask and find answers to this question: what makes me come alive? What makes you come alive? And how can I share my aliveness with the world? How can you share your aliveness with the world? Nothing is guaranteed in this world, my friends. And we have been in a rough few weeks, and it's going to be rougher still. And we are here for one another. And moving out of a mindset of scarcity into one of abundance and embracing that part of gratitude is one of the paths that here at All Souls, we can bring it together. It's time to pool our resources like Stone Soup, an old story, but still a good one. Not hide them away. Bring out what each of us have in word and action and presence and gratitude and music and art and silence. It's giving what you can and living out of your abundance. It's sowing as much as you can. Your time, your resources, your smile, your song, your prayers, your marching, your showing up and feeding those in need while fighting for something better than a Band-Aid to the bigger problems. It will take our abundance to change and overcome oppressive systems. From our opening story about a little peach pit and a little girl's, never underestimate that, a little girl's determination. Carl Scoville reflects on other ways to nurture abundance in our lives. At the end of his radio hour, he said, "Sow an hour, reap a year. Sow a smile, reap a friend. Sow your intentions and reap a better world. Sow a peach pit and reap 427 peaches for canning, compost, and a sacred lesson. Get ready for the harvest, the one that we make together. And when you have given, and you have served, and you have sowed, the harvest that comes may not be exactly the one that you're expecting, but may it be the one that we all need." Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole, for that message on abundance. Boy, I needed to hear that today. I really did. I was thinking that when I was studying to become a minister, in one of my classes, we had a professor who was teaching us about preaching and public speaking. And I remember that my teacher told us, now you're going to have this temptation to hold on. If you have a good story or something that's moving or funny and you say, I got to save that for later, another time. I got to save that for a big Sunday or a special time. He said, don't do it. Just put every time you get up to speak, put it all out there and just trust that some new words will come, some new stories will come. And I know I was nervous. I'm thinking, I've been 25 years speaking. It's easy to think I'm going to run out of things to say. But I've always lived by that, by just putting it all out there and trusting some new message, some new thought, idea, story will come. And it's worked that way throughout all the time I've been here. And so I've really tried to make that a practice with my love, with my generosity. I know that I think it's kind of like blood, it needs to circulate. Our love needs to circulate. our goodness, our hearts need to circulate, out in the world, our finances, everything. We just got to keep it moving and trust that more will come. And it's just it's a beautiful way to be in the world, especially right now with everything going on. As I said earlier, with the vote coming, we've got people on both sides of the aisle thinking that the democracy is going to end if the other side wins, and everybody's scared and anxious and concerned. And one thing I know is that the next day, this place will be here. We'll be here. The next Sunday, we'll gather again, and we'll do what we do, and we'll put our values out into the world, and we'll continue to work for a better world, more justice, more kindness, more love. And that's what gives me great hope. So I'm glad that we're here together today. We're going to have an offering in just a moment for Tulsa's Higher Education Consortium. As Hudson Harder told us, we give away our plate each week, and the consortium is 9 different higher education institutions here in Tulsa and the area that work together to help students who are dealing with housing instability. So these are students who are worried about their ability to have a roof over their heads while they're also trying to study. So please give generously as the offering basket comes around in just a moment. And before you go, know that today, following this service at 12:30 out on the West Playground, we're going to have our Halloween party. So come on out. I see some of you are in costume. You look great. I love looking out and seeing the costumes out there, and our children will be out there. Everybody is welcome. There's games, there's fun, there's all kinds of food. So come on out to the West Playground for a Halloween party. Also, know that our annual art market is coming up in a few weeks. It's a great time to get gifts for the holidays. And please look in your order of service. There's so much happening. Talk about abundance. There's so many programs happening. Even just today, there's a whole page of things happening today here at All Souls. And one thing that didn't make the list was our Life Decisions Committee is here one last day to work with folks who want to fill out paperwork related to end of life, like living wills and all kinds of things that people will put. There's just so much to do that helps your family. So if you wanted to be a part of that, you can do that after the service. But right now, we want to take up a collection for the Tulsa Higher Education Consortium. Please give generously. If you are making a pledge payment to All Souls, please, and you're doing that with a check, please make sure you put church on there so it doesn't go to the offering by mistake, and everything else, cash and everything else, will go to our offering.
If you are new or newish, I do want to invite you to our Sonnen Library. Go out the doors behind you to my left and cross the foyer. There's a little library. There are folks there to answer your questions, tell you the history, learn more about you. So if you're new or newish, please take the opportunity to visit us over in the Sonnen Library today. And this is our closing words. May the truth that sets us free, the hope that never dies, the hope that never dies, lead us forward together until the day spring breaks and love, love, love guides the way. Go in peace on this day. Go love in your heart and find a way to bring your presence and your abundance into the lives of others. Thank you.